Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin
Xander, what is wrong with you?
child. I'm fine, Claude. Why? Holy infant, so tender and mild. No, I'm not in pain, Claude. Go away. Sleep in heavenly peace.
Should I call a doctor?
Claude, you can be very easily fired, you know. Sleep in heavenly peace. No, I'm not in pain. I'm trying to get in the Christmas spirit. Go away.
Christmas?
Silent
Xander.
Holy night, shepherds quake at the sight. Glory streams.
Is there a cat in there, Xander?
Do you know what, Claude? Forget it. Just start the show. Hello everybody, and a very Merry Christmas to one and all. Welcome to the Christmas episode of Xandermonium, the talk show that gets you talking. I'm Xander Gibb, and coming up on today's show, Tony Lasacco will be getting on his soapbox, London Calling, with Jeff Christian, who talks to author Russell Edwards, The Tipping Point, and more of your questions and Ask Xander. More to come in a mere moment. As always, you can interact with me via Twitter. You can tweet me at XanderGibb, XanderGibb, capital X, capital G. Make sure you follow and keep up with what's going on with the show. And now it's time for Xander's Soapbox. This week on Xander's Soapbox, we welcome back Tony Lasacco from The Full Story to give us his two-penner.
Hello, my fellow Americans and fellow voters. My name's Tony Lasacco, and I run a video blog called The Full Story. Today, I want to talk to you about Donald Trump. I believe that freedom is in jeopardy, and freedom itself needs to be defended, or we will not have a constitution left. Now, to begin, let's review Donald Trump's original statements. He's already stated that all Mexicans are murderers and rapists, and that anybody illegal in this country needs to be deported. He's already proposed a, quote, deportation force to deport anybody, no matter how long they've been in this country or how many years, to get rid of any illegal alien instantaneously. No statement about what power this police force would have, how it would be enforced, who would they decide, how this would be done. He's already stated about building a wall and making Mexico pay for it. This is his past. But I want to talk to you about his present statements, which are so alarming. First of all, he said he wants to repeal the 14th Amendment to the Constitution due to immigration. He wants to end the anchor babies and make sure that if you're born in this country, that you have a right to be born in this country. So he says he would get rid of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. Think on that for a minute. This man has said he wants to get rid of an amendment to the Constitution. Now let's look at the 14th Amendment. It does talk about natural born citizenship and that every person born or naturalized in the United States has the right to be a citizen. My friends, there's more to the story than that. You can't just repeal part of an amendment. You would have to take the whole thing back. The 14th Amendment says more than that. The 14th Amendment guarantees due process of law to everybody and every citizen in every state. Equal protection under law. The rest of the 14th Amendment Donald Trump's not talking about. And that says that no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of law. The 14th Amendment guarantees that the local states like Florida, California, New York, etc. cannot pass a law to violate any citizen's rights. That if you're a citizen of the United States, that no state can make a law that violates your rights as an American citizen. If you repeal that 14th Amendment, you're repealing your protection from the states passing any law to violate your rights. You're also repealing due process and equal protection under law for every citizen. You can't do it! He's talking about taking away our freedom. But now let's take it a step further. Donald Trump wants to create a database for all Muslims. In his defense, this was brought up by a reporter, and Donald Trump answered in the affirmative. He stated that he is not against the database for all Muslims and that there has to be surveillance of people based on their religion. Well, the 4th Amendment to the United States Constitution says that people shall be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures, and this shall not be violated. Warrants shall not be issued except based on probable cause. He wants to get rid of the 4th Amendment in addition. Number 4, people. He wants to institute a database for Muslims and for people of a certain religion and surveil them and watch them just solely based on their religion. The 4th Amendment guarantees we shall be secure from unreasonable surveillance, searches, seizures, unless there's a specific warrant. He wants to do away with that for an entire group of people. While we're on the subject of an entire group of people, let's talk about the latest Trump statement. Ban all Muslims from entering the United States. My friends, this one is self-explanatory. The First Amendment to the Constitution says, and I quote, Congress shall make no laws respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Okay, Trump's defenders say, well, we're not doing away with the rights of an American citizen because these people aren't here first. When you deny an entire religion from entering this country, you are prohibiting the people in this country who are already Muslim from freely exercise their religion. You are discriminating against an entire religion. You are violating the First Amendment. You're telling somebody in this country just because they're a Muslim they can't have their wife or their child come to the United States because of their religion. You're violating the First Amendment. You're prohibiting the free exercise of religion. You are banning and discriminating against an entire group of people. Equal protection under law, the 14th Amendment. This man wants to repeal the Constitution and deny people its freedoms. You might be okay with that. Your neighbor might be okay with that. I'm not okay with that. First he attacked the Mexicans and the illegal aliens. Then he went on and now he's attacking the Muslims. Who's next? The gay people? The black people? You? Me? Who is next? Who will be the target of fear and hatred? And just for some clarification, yes, presidents have barred immigration from groups of people, and they have that authority. Jimmy Carter did that in the 70s, barring Iranians from entering this country. That's a country. And that was in a time of conflict with the United States. That is different. Never in the United States history has a president stated that they would ban an entire religion from entering this country. You can ban certain countries, citizens from entering for national security. You can't discriminate and say an entire religion just because you don't like it can't come in here. And that you're going to surveil and create databases of people based on their religion. That's scary stuff. That's Gestapo Hitler stuff. Come on, people. I'd like to end with a quote from one of the great presidents of the United States, Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan had this to say about freedom in America. Freedom is a fragile thing. It's never more than one generation away from extinction. It's not ours by inheritance. It must be fought for and defended constantly by each generation. For it only comes once to a people. Those who have known freedom and then lost it may never know it again. Those are the words of Ronald Reagan, a great president, and he would not stand for this crap. He believed the United States was a shining city on a hill, and he said, come to us, come to America to realize freedom. He never would have denied people based on their religion from entering this country. Freedom needs to be defended, and Donald Trump needs to be stopped. Thank you, and God bless America.
2, 1. That was Xander's Soapbox for this week. Thanks to Tony Lusaco. If you'd like to get on your soapbox, send your videos to me in MP4 format via xandergib.com/contact. That's xandergib.com/contact. And now it's time for a London Calling. So talk about the ghost of Christmas past. On this week's London Calling, Jeff Christian does a ghostly interview with London tour guide and author Russell Edwards, filmed on the location of the Whitechapel murders at night on the anniversary of the very first Ripper murder. Russell wrote a book because he procured DNA evidence from the crime scene, which enables to reveal on tonight's show the Ripper's true identity. Ooh, I'm scared already. Let's check it out.
Hello America, London calling.
They told me we had to film in the dark. But I'm so afraid of the dark. I can sense people all around me. What am I going to do? I'm so afraid. Is it a light? There's a light. I must run towards the light.
Invited here today by author and creator of the Jack the Ripper experience, Mr. Russell Edwards. Thank you for inviting us, Russell.
It's a pleasure, Jim.
What made you first attracted to Jack the Ripper?
Well, I've been in the East End for 11 years, really enjoying the curry houses in Brick Lane. And then one day I saw this film called From Hell with Johnny Depp. That was just a feature film about the Jack the Ripper story. Yes. And of course I thought, well, where is the Ten Bells pub, which featured, as well as Christ Church, the big church. And I came on a Jack the Ripper tour. Lo and behold, it was one road parallel to where I'd been for 11 years. It was right on my doorstep.
Really?
Didn't even know.
And we're just a couple of yards away from murder number 4, was it?
Yes, where we stand now is the murder site, as Mitre Square it's called, of 4th Ripper victim, Catherine Eddowes. And Catherine Eddowes, very sadly, was murdered over just to my right on the corner, right here.
And it's actually the anniversary today of one of the poor lady's demises, isn't it?
Well, it is, and that's why I've conducted a very large tour this evening, really to highlight the demise of. It's actually a tragic story, that of Annie Chapman, and she was the second victim of this murderer that they dubbed Jack the Ripper. Less than 500 yards from where we stand. Yes, this is the closest source of my computer because it doesn't exist anymore. So can you tell us more about David Chapman? At this point, I'd like to bring in the lady that helps screenwriting us, Rachel Hartman.
So on this day in the community is when Annie Chapman was found. Now Annie Chapman was in her 40s, and she was one of these unfortunates. She lived a very destitute and poverty life and had to sell her body every night for a place to sleep. Now, on the morning of September 8th, one of the men who lived above in the apartments went out into the backyard and found her body lying between the stairs and the fence. And he had cut her throat down to the spinal cord. He had taken a knife and ripped from the bottom of her sternum down past her genitalia. He had opened it like a flap. And he had taken her bowels out and put them on the ground above her right shoulder. He had taken her uterus, it was gone. And last but not least, he just wrenched the brass rings from her finger as if she wasn't even human, as if she was just an object.
We were talking earlier, Russell, about the shawl, and the thing that interested you in that was the scientists using the shawl.
Yes, well, I've sort of given up on anybody ever proving the identity of this murderer. And then I got a phone telling me a shawl was for sale at auction. It was taken from the fourth nurse. Who took the shawl? I knew, Acting Sergeant when he escorted the body of Catherine Evans to the mortuary, he asked him to take the shawl, because it is a huge piece of silver. He wanted it for his wife, because she was a seamstress. Of course, his wife didn't want it at all, and they gave it to the niece. It was the descendants of the niece that I bought it from, and that's how it all happened. And it took several years until I was part of the information, where I was introduced to a forensics scientist and expert in ancient DNA testing, Dr. Yori Lopalan. And he told me, from a scientific perspective, what was on the shore, residue, and it matched the actual murder of the court murder. I was blown away. And from there, I asked him could he help me, and then it was a 4-year roller coaster scientific this odyssey that got us to conclusively know the man who committed those 5 crimes. So, are you ready to tell us who he is? Absolutely. The man who committed the crimes that were attributed to the myth or the legend of Jack the Ripper were actually committed by a man called Aaron Kismet. He was the murderer. Kismet? That doesn't sound English. No, he was a Polish Jewish immigrant. He came over to the East End near Whitechapel in 1881. He lived with his family, and in 1888 he was only 23 years of age. Which means that he had some kind of expertise, like surgical knowledge or something. Yes. Well, when I did my research, his incarceration into the asylum, lunatic asylum, I should say, his occupation was written there as hairdresser. Back then, hairdressers, barbers, surgeons, so we had anatomical knowledge, and he needed that.
A That's it for this week. Back to you in the studio, Xander.
That was London Calling with Jeff Christian, Russell Edwards, and the Ghosts of Whitechapel. London Calling is produced in association with Mr. Binks Media. And now it's time for the tipping point. So as this year draws to a close, I began to think about the things I'd accomplished personally this year, to take stock, if you will, and to assess how I had progressed in the 365 days, 25,600 minutes. No pun intended, but how do you measure your year? So my accomplishments were many this year, and to be honest, I have surprised myself, as well as writing and producing a weekly radio show and being a weekly guest presenter on the Real Side radio show, and 10 episodes into this show too. Now I also started working on my second novel, and it's going pretty well. It's part 2 of my first novel, The Boy from Beyond the Ice House, available from Amazon. Now the book is about my years spent in London, so many people have asked me if characters were based on them. But believe me, if you were included, I would have told you. I haven't finished writing yet, so watch out, I might include you. So I also continue to work on my health and fitness and mobility, and I've been on a health plan for nearly 2 years now, and I've lost around 35 pounds. And yes, thank you for clapping, Claude. That is a big achievement for someone like me. Now I feel amazing, and as someone who's suffered with depression, and the fact that I'm doing so many things could have really tipped the balance, but thankfully it didn't. Now all things considered, 2015 was a good year for me, but I'm hoping 2016 is going to be so much better. Now I think the secret to my success is very simple, but multifaceted. No, not that I'm young and beautiful and talented, but all joking aside, those things help. But the key to all of this, as far as I'm concerned, is remaining positive, even when the storms come. Now, it really is a choice to live in faith and not fear, and it's one we all have to consciously make. Now, that has been the hardest thing for me, as with all life's challenges and ups and downs, being so unpredictable. But I weathered the storms and lived in that faith and not fear. Now, that doesn't mean that everything is perfect. Oh no, siree, far from it. But I've managed to be able to survive in the face of adversity. And you know what? I'm here to tell you that you can too. One really does have to choose positivity, as negativity is really a slippery slope. And a positive approach grows. And it also spreads to others we come into contact with. Now we have to commit every single day to renewing that positivity, no matter what life may bring to us. I can personally attest to the fact that positivity has changed my life for the better, and it's chased away the blues and even contributed to improvements in my physical health too, as the mental and the physical are so interconnected. We are mental, physical, and spiritual beings, and their issues in one of those areas can affect the others. Now, I renew my commitment to positivity, and it helps me to cope and get through the trials of my life, and it can help you to do the same. That was this year's final tipping point, and I thank you for the positive responses you have given to me regarding this show. And now it's time for Ask Xander. So the first question is from Kira from Ridgefield. Did you have a nice Christmas, Xander, or do you celebrate? Do you celebrate Hanukkah? Well, I celebrate both and I celebrate life in general. I hope your Christmas was wonderful, Kira. What is your favorite Christmas movie? Asked Anne-Marie from Bristol, Connecticut. Well, I think that really has to be Home Alone 2, because it's very Christmassy for me and brings back lots of memories of childhood. But also when I lived in the UK, every year they either played The Wizard of Oz or The Sound of Music, which were both top favorites of mine too. Stefan from Bethel wants to know what Santa brought me. Okay, the usual cologne, socks, which I never wear, chocolates, which I shouldn't eat, and DVDs. I hope Santa brought you everything that your heart desired, Stefan. Okay, final question from Elizabeth, also from Danbury, who wants to know, what is my favorite kind of pizza? Oh gosh. I like all pizza, but I like deep pan and I like pepperoni, and I also like the oven brick pizza too. Anything edible. Food is always attractive to me, and it definitely was this Christmas. I still have a turkey leg somewhere hanging around for me to eat later. Well, that was it for this week's Ask Xander. And as usual, you can send your questions and comments to me at xandergibb.com/contact. That's xandergibb.com/contact. Oh yes, indeed. Well, that's it for Xandermonium for this year. We will be back next year. Seems a long time away, doesn't it? Don't forget to join my contact list at xandergibb.com and to follow us on social media. Thanks so much to Jeff Christian and the team over at London Calling. Thank you for all of your contributions this year. Bravo. And thanks to author Russell Edwards. Be sure to buy his book. Thanks to Claude, but seriously, thanks to you, Claude. I know we fight a little and it's very humorous, but you are a wonderful floor manager. Bravo to you too. All right, I promise that for the new year, I'm gonna stop going and twirling my invisible mustache. Thanks also to everyone who has worked on today's show, but most of all, thanks to you outside there for listening. It is really you that we do it for, and you make a difference. And I would like to wish you all a happy Christmas and a happy New Year. And we will see you next time on Xandermonium. I love you all. Bye-bye.